Konnichiwa, Japan fans. Today's show, we'll talk about RFPs, requests for proposals. Eigo desu. それでは行きましょう. So let's get going. This is the 8th year of the Sales Japan Series podcast, broadcasting around the world from the Beverly Hills of Japan, Minato-ku here in downtown Tokyo. It is chic central. I'm your host, Dr. Greg Story, Dale Carnegie Tokyo franchise owner, the president of Dale Carnegie Tokyo Training, and the 3-time best-selling author of Japan Sales Mastery, which is Zaegyo in Japanese, Japan Business Mastery, and Japan Presentations Mastery, or in Japanese, Anata mo Presen no Tachijin. My other books include Stop Wasting Money on Training, which in Japanese is Tonin de Okane o Moni Suru wa Yamemashou, and my just released new book is Japan Leadership Mastery, and all are available on Amazon. In this podcast, I want to help you to survive, and even better, thrive in business. I want you to 1, sell more and do it more easily. 2, exceed your targets. In fact, let's blow up your targets. Number 3, make some serious money. Don't forget to subscribe and share this podcast with your family, friends, and colleagues. We're not being sponsored by Libsyn, but we value your privacy, which is why we have our podcast hosted by Libsyn. Unlike many other hosting organizations, Libsyn have a strict policy that does not allow access to your private information by anyone. Here is our daily podcast lineup on Apple Podcasts. Mondays, the Cutting Edge Japan Business Show podcast. Tuesday, the Presentations Japan series. And every second Tuesday, the Business Tachijin no Oshie Show. Wednesdays, the Sales Japan series. Thursdays, the Leadership Japan series. And every second Thursday, the Business Pro Podcast Show. Fridays, the Japan Business Mastery Show podcast. Saturdays, Japan's top business interviews. Now, this is episode number 392. Today we're talking about preparing RFPs in Japan. I don't like doing RFPs in Japan. We're translating concepts and intangibles into text in a document, which a lot of people we will never, ever meet will be reading and making decisions about us. I prefer to work on my champion and have them marshal the approval through their byzantine internal processes to get the agreement to go ahead. It feels more in control than launching a bunch of words into space and hoping for the heavens to align. I had a case like that recently. I'd met a person from the company at a networking event. When I followed up, they directed me to the person who had become my champion. I met them, understood what they wanted, and came back with some alternatives from which they could choose. They made a selection and asked for a simple proposal with pricing, which I put together. Unbeknownst to me, someone higher up in the hierarchy didn't like what they had selected and said they should have a demonstration training first before committing to the delivery of the option they chose. I could tell my champion was annoyed by this, but we did the demonstration more as a fig leaf to get approval to move forward as planned. In the case of an RFP, the champion receives it, but it is a much more formal process, no doubt involving procurement, compliance, and a host of other entities who will need to scrutinize the document. None of these people will have had a chance to get the necessary passion inoculation from me about how this will be so great for their company. It is a very dry affair all around. Because so many people we will never, ever meet will be looking at the content, we have to really lay on the detail. Anytime we write something down, there is a danger of misinterpretation or lack of understanding of what they are reading. We are experts in our business, but often the people behind the scenes are not experts and they don't know the lexicon or the content or the concepts. Often what we are covering is quite complex as well, which makes it hard for them to gauge what they are reading to weigh it up against rival submissions. There is the danger We produce something so complete, so watertight, that it is impenetrable for them, and they go for a competitor application because it is much less sophisticated, less complex, allowing them to make a decision. Where do we strike the balance between full details and a lighter version with enough data to get a yes? We have a varied audience, so some will prefer a light version and others want every detail. Find out more when we come back from the break. Our show today is brought to you by our public courses, and we also have custom in-house programs as well as both in Japanese and English. We do classes in our super safe classroom and we do them live online. On the 24th of August, we will have the Dale Carnegie course 12-week version. On the 12th and 13th of September, we will have our High Impact Presentations course. Also starting on the 13th of September, we're doing our 12-week version of the Dale Carnegie course. Our website is www.dale-carnegie.co.jp. Email me at greg.story@dalecarnegie.com. If you like learning by watching videos, then we have over 2,300 there for you at Tokyo, Japan, Dale Carnegie TV on YouTube. We release 3 shows every week on YouTube. The Cutting Edge Japan Business Show, that's the premier business show in Japan, every Monday, Tokyo time. Fridays, we have the Japan Business Mastery Show, and on Saturdays, we release Japan's top business interviews, where I interview leaders from SMEs right up to the corporate captains of industry on one topic, leading in Japan. Now, every second Thursday, we release the Business Pro Television Show. Don't forget to grab my business best-selling books on Japan on Amazon. Japan Sales Mastery, which is Saegyo in Japanese, Japan Business Mastery, and Japan Presentations Mastery, or in Japanese, Anata mo Present no Tachijin. My other books include Stop Wasting Money on Training, which in Japanese is Training de Okane o Muri ni suru no wa yamemashou. And my just released new book is Japan Leadership Mastery, and all are available on Amazon. Welcome back. Creating a version within a version could be the answer. We can have the executive summary bit, and we can have the heavy details as well. In this way, the reader can choose to skim or do a deep dive. Japan always skews toward wanting more detail, so by definition, a Japanese RFP will be relatively dense. Supporting documents are always a good idea. Often we have flyers or catalogues or white papers or whatever, which we can attach to the submission. No one may have the time to read it all, but it does show a depth of command of the subject and that your firm is well organized on this topic. We should never underestimate the Japanese preference for risk reduction, which usually translates into a desire for all the information they can get their hands on. Somehow, by collecting a lot of information, they feel immunized from making a mistake through a lack of knowledge or perspective. The RFP evaluation process results in a yes or a no. And when you get the no, it is perplexing to understand why you were not selected. In Japan, there's no mechanism for sharing with you why you missed out because the system doesn't want to get into a debate about the decision. Therefore, it is hard to learn from the process and it becomes a bit of a black box procedure. Was it the content? Was it the money? Was it the timing? What was it? Did our competitor offer something we don't have? To think about. You can lose a lot of sleep trying to pass what happened. It usually leads nowhere. If you can get together with your champion unofficially, it is worthwhile trying to get some insight. They may be reluctant, though, to do that because there's no upside for them, and they don't want to compromise the organization's decision or decision-making processes. Thank you for joining the Sales Japan series. If you found the program useful, then please work on your karma and share this with your family, friends, and colleagues. Don't forget to subscribe and share this podcast. Immediately apply what you've learned, go out there and survive. Use it and make some serious money. Bucks, dough, ruler, coin, stosh, lolly, readies, smackers, earners, and bread and honey. Remember, I'm in your corner, your go-to guy for soft skills training in Tokyo, committed to your success here in Nippon.